always there for. You should comment first, because like people doing comment first, like you're here first. You should have said that. But yeah, so I can't finish the car today, but I can get as much done now as I need. Because the only reason I can't is because I was just looking over and I've got the ESC here that comes with the Frog, and I just don't have a battery for it. I don't have a battery with that connector. So I do have batteries, just not one with that. Yeah, I haven't got many adaptery things. Yeah, so I don't have a battery. So I'm doing the electronics today, basically, because apparently you need to plug in the servo, the steering servo, and you need to centre it before you can build on it. But I can do everything up to the electronics. And after I do this video, I'm going to look up whether to get either a battery or an adapter for. I've got 4 or 5 different batteries, so I may just look for an adapter. It's probably going to be cheaper. But yeah, so I don't have a battery that will fit this. It's good that I found this out today. So today, and I did have a look forwards through the instructions. Hey Weston, how you doing? So I'm building an RC car. It's the Tamiya Frog. Let me get the box and show you. There. So why I'm doing this is, you've probably seen in some of my videos, and I've like mentioned about like when I done the whole dating thing, and my question was, what toy did you not have as a kid that you'd get for yourself today? Well, my answer, none of the women could answer it, like boring. But my answer was an RC car. So I have bought a couple that they're just like cheap bashers. So just are ready to run. You just put batteries in and off you go. But I wanted to actually learn to build one. So there's a channel called the Poor Boys RC. So he does a challenge every year. So in the month of June, he tells you a chassis, you have to build it and then try and tweak it to make it fast. So this year it's the ORV, or off-road vehicle, which covers the Frog, the Monster Beetle, and a couple of others. So I went with a Frog. So I've been building this to learn as I go along, how these cars go together and how they work. So I'm doing it I'm going to do a stock car out of the box. Then throughout the month of June, month of June you build it. The month of July you can do all your tweaks and you do speed runs and you record it and you submit your fastest scores. Like you can, let's say you get 25 miles an hour, then a couple of days you do a few tweaks and you get 18. You don't submit that, but if you do another couple of tweaks and you get 30, then you submit that. So you can keep submitting as long as it's better than your last submission. And at the end of July, you go on the scoreboard and see where you got. So it's kind of a fun little project. So I've built most of the car, the chassis. So one thing I did cut out is this little pin just to put in here for this battery door. Because this battery, the battery goes in there, it keeps flopping around. So yeah, I've got the front suspension-y bits done. I've got the rear. I built the gearbox yesterday. Got whatever you call this bit. You got the drive shaft in here, or built up drive shafts. So I think pretty much where I am today is build the shocks. Then after that is put the electronics, because you just turned up the electronics. I can't do that today because as I was just saying, I've got an ESC here. I'm learning the lingo. So this is electronic speed controller. It's basically the brain. So this receives your transmitter. It receives the signals and tells it whether you're doing accelerate, brake, left, right, and all that. So it's got a battery connector on there, and I don't have one of these batteries. So I say after I do this, I'm going to try and find either a battery for it not here, I don't have one, in a shop, or an adapter for one of the other batteries. I've got one of these little 2S batteries, but that's, as they call it, a Dean's connector or a T connector. So I don't have the right connector to do this bit. That's the only reason I'm not going to do the electronics, because they recommend like spreading it out, just doing all the electronics out, because the steering servo, you need to zero it in. Just like in slingshots, zeroing it in. You need to zero it in before you build it up, because then like you'd have your controller at 0, and then you sort of program it, what to accelerate, blah blah blah. You might know all that stuff anyway. But yes, so I'm jumping over. So I've got these instructions here. So I've done that. I put the gearbox on. That's the drive shaft. I've done that. We built up the drive shaft. I've attached, so that's called the rear arms. I've attached the rear arm. I'm on 14, so today you're going to do 14, 15. So 14 and 15 go together because they're building the shocks. 16 is attaching the shock. 17 is attaching the motor, which I can do, because I've got their stock motor here, so we can do the motor today. Let's see, where do we need to stop? Right, so after 18, I can't do 19 because that's the bit where you start putting the electronics on. So let's jump back to here. I am going to share my desk, so there's my little build thing. So I've got these little 3D printed trays with all the different bits in there. I've got some off to the side. But yeah, so I've got the bits that it looks like. The longest thing I've found with doing this is finding the parts, because apparently it's in other kits from Tamiya they're a lot better. They'll put bag A, and so A is pretty much going to be the first few steps, and then you do B. For some reason in the Frog, they got all the bits, they just threw them up in the air, grabbed random bits and threw them in random bags. Because that's why I've got 3 of these. I've got 3 of these trays printed, and the one there. And it's purely because it's stage 1. It's oh, you need 2 screws from bag A and 3 screws from bag C, and then you do the next bit. And then it's 8 screws from B, and you're just all over the place. In the end, I was just open all the bags, sort them out, and then I've just got to sort of look and go, okay, which one's which. Have you ever done one? Western? I know Leon, he's said he's done a few RC stuff. And Reggie's usually joined and sort of watched maybe a little bit while I'm doing this stuff. But it is actually a lot of fun. I tell you, there's that satisfaction of seeing it come together. Because this was just all bits, and at the end of every time I've done a video live putting it together, it's you just get that, it's all coming together. I can see it. I can see how it's all working. And when I built the gearbox, I've never done anything like that. And when I was putting the cogs in, it's I don't get it. How does that work? Then as it got together, I see how that all comes together now. So I did make a mistake yesterday on the gearbox. I'd put one of the cogs the wrong way round, and that's why it wasn't turning properly. But now it spins really smoothly. So I'm kind of pleased I figured that one out, because if I'd have plugged it in, it would have just probably blown up. So one of the things about this, apparently this specific chassis, it's called the ORV, Off-Road Vehicle Chassis. It says you don't have to have the Frog, there's a few of them that you can get. It's a weak gearbox. So apparently this bit here at the back, it can just explode if you put too much power into those gears. So that's part of the challenge of getting a faster car, but also not having it blow up into little pieces. So it should be a fun one. I raced back in the day, but haven't in years. Am I getting you into a new... Are you going to be like, oh yeah, that sounds really a lot of fun? Because I'm not dropping... Like, I still love slingshots. I know I haven't been live that often, but I have still been shooting. This is just like one of those, I want to go back to childhood. Since I hit 50, it's like, I want to start, not anything, but I want to start doing those things that I wanted to do as a kid but never got to. So that's why I'm doing the whole RC thing now. Like, I've got 3 bashers, just cheap ones off AliExpress. Oh, I'm having so much fun. Like, it's nice like being indoors shooting, but when it's like a nice cool day, I've got a field right opposite me, I can just go out and just like fucking open up on a car and just let it roll and crash into things. It's just a bit of fun. 10-15 minutes on a battery and I'm like, yeah, that was satisfying. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. I can see this being dangerous for me. Like, I got this. And I haven't built it yet, but I've got a lunchbox, which is the big van. I actually got this one first because I've got all the bits here. As you see, like, I haven't built it yet. There. So that's the lunchbox is very cheap, but I've got it all still in here because I dismantled it, and then like this, I heard of this challenge, and it's like, okay, I'm in. And because the guy that runs the channel, he's a Canadian, so he took to a hobby shop near him, and they done all Canadians a deal on like the body and a few extra like upgrades. But yeah, I mean, even just not building it, just buying a cheap one off AliExpress and just like fucking pull that trigger and just like let it rip around, like just satisfying. You could mix it with slingshots. Get someone to drive the car with a target on top, and they can sort of zoom around, and you've got a moving target. There you go. You got the exclusive there, Weston. Get yourself a cheap remote, even just from like a little cheap toy store. Put it on there and get your daughter to like drive it around and just shoot at the target, a moving target. I don't know if she's enough to do a little... No, not obviously not this, but like a little toy one, little Barbie kind of RC thing. But anyway, let's start doing these things. I can still talk while I'm doing it. Sometimes I do my whole... I mean, you know me, I just waffle on and talk away. But sometimes there's a bit of quiet because I'm trying to figure it out, because I've never done this before. As I said, the lunchbox, I opened it up and then it's like, heard about this challenge. So I'm like, in for a penny, in for a pound. But let's get this, see if we can get this going. So the 3D printer's been going like crazy because I've been printing all these trays. Right, so see, I've got my servo ready. It's there, it's all ready to go. I just need the battery. Right. It looks like all of these bits. Those bits look like they're going to roll off somewhere. Let's put them somewhere safe. Let's leave them there. Oh, so that my only thing, she would hate me forever if I missed and smashed the car, right? So I'm doing completely stock out the box, apart from one thing. These kits, they come with bushings rather than bearings. So that's my only change I'd done from out of the box. I bought a little bag of bearings for like $10 off Amazon. So I'm putting those in. The bushings are like shitty little plastic things. So that's my only change, and I only do that because I didn't want to build up the car just to then dismantle it and just to put some bearings in, because that's not a big deal. Right, let's have a look. So I've got my manual here, so I can see it here, and I've got it on another monitor over there as well. But how are you doing anyway? Like, I haven't spoken to you in ages. use this tray. As I've got it here, let's use it. Right, so... And anyway, what are you talking about if you missed it and smashed the... As if you'd fucking miss. You're possibly down as probably one of the best shooters out there, aren't you? I've seen you shoot and like I could only dream about even getting half as accurate as you are. So you miss. If you did, it would be on purpose. Yeah, I've just had like so much going on. One of the little downs, I think I said it in my last live, like I had to put the dog down just over a month ago because he got cancer. So that was one of the reasons I wasn't going live as much because he was getting sick. And then when I did have to put him down, it was like I didn't want to go in the basement because, you know, like if you'd see he'd always come down and he'd like sit by my feet or go and lay by the catch box or he'd hang out. So it just didn't feel right going down there. But yeah, other than that, work. I've got 2 weeks off now because like I'm wiped out. I've been working way too much. There was 2 nights where I worked all through the night. There was a couple of Fridays ago. I'd done a full day at work, signed off at 5 p.m, back on at 6 p.m. on a Friday, and then worked through until 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. I had a little 3-hour nap between, but it was brutal. So yeah, I needed some time off to have a break. That's why I'm doing this. It's like I need to not be around. I know I'm on a computer now, I know, but I needed to not be doing things like that. I needed to just switch off. Let's see, we've got these. Are you going to any more tournaments this year? Because I'm kind of thinking of I was maybe thinking Hocking Hills, but it looks like there's a lot of people that are just going to Spain. Is it Spain? The World Championships? I think a lot of people are heading there. So I was like, is it worth going to Hocking Hills if a lot of people are actually not going to be there? Another little there. But yeah, I was going to do Hocking Hills, but now I'm thinking maybe just wait till next year now. So it'll either be like if they do it again, that first one of the year, the Midwest thing, or ECST. But yeah, hopefully prices will come down because that was one of the reasons I didn't go this year to ECST. The cost, what I spent for the entire like 3 days last year, this year that was just the flight. So it was way too expensive. Right, shocks. So what are we doing here? Oh, I'm on the video screen trying to scroll up a bit. Right, so I don't know if like you've ever done these. So if you ever was to do the Tamiya kit things, I think I can put the chassis down for the moment. Yeah. Is just in case, like you'll find what they do. If you get a part, you can actually lay it on top of the guide, and it's to scale. So all the screws, as you're going through it, there's plenty of screws. You just got to sort of lay it on top and go, oh yeah, I've got the right one there. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it really, like it with the dog, it happened so quickly. Like we knew he had cancer from like the vet, but like that morning he got up and he was downstairs and he went out in the back garden and like everything was fine. And I'm like, normally in the mornings he goes out, he'll run around for a little bit and then he'll come back in for something to eat and that. And it's like it's been 10-15 minutes. And I looked out and his back legs had given out. He just couldn't walk. He was in a panic. So it's like, no, it's time. So going to, when his aim because I do have I've got 2 weeks off now as of today, then I've still got 2 weeks left for the year, so I still have time to take off, so I can have a look maybe at AIM. Right, so we've got this, so this is saying to have it that way. Right, so these are all this. Let's bring this tray down here. So again, like as you see, like even just like the little like I don't know what you call them, like spacers. Even they're like to scale on here. So it's saying to put 2 of those in here. End of October. So what makes AIM so good? Because I've only ever done ECST. I'm going to do 2 at the same time, because obviously I'm doing a left and a right here, so I think it's safe to assume that I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing back to back on these. So let's do both at the same time. So there's that. Then V10. See, here's the bits, like sometimes I've done these videos, I've been doing them for like a couple of days, but this is where it gets to be a pain in the arse, because it gives you like this part number like out of nowhere, and you're like, well, what the hell is that? Like what I'm looking at is here, so I've put the 2 washers and then it's on this V10. Because I got these caps that go on the end, I've got those. And on the next one down, so these little bladder things, I've got those. And I've got the caps, is this? Ah, these must be it, it's just not a very good picture. By the process of elimination. Process of elimination, I think it's these. Because here's those little bladder bits. There's the screw top, so that must be it. Oh no, it isn't, because like that's got 3 little lines on it, so that goes over there. So those bits I just picked up of that. So what the hell is this V10? Is that it? So this is also because I'm right near the end of building it and I've got so many parts left. These springs, I know, are going to the shocks. Right, I am going to, because I do have, I found these videos of these other guys doing it. So what are we on here? 14. Make sure it's muted. Let's see what they do. Because I've had to look at these videos every now and again and just like, okay, well, what the hell is that bit? Oh yeah, he's talking about V10 there. Oh, I think I know. I remembered. I got this. Let me jump back to desk. I remembered. I pulled these two out because they look exactly the same. So I think these are it. Yep, V. It's got a little plastic bit there saying V. V10. Is that. More laid back, beautiful park, everyone more together. Maybe I will I'll look into that one. I do want to go to another one. It was purely just so. It wasn't just like, oh, a little bit more expensive. It was like, holy shit, like, what the fuck? Where's that one on here? 10, there it is. So how do I know these are V10? I know it doesn't show up, but like it probably won't show up on the camera. Oh yeah, it does there, see V. And then you see there's all those numbers. So that's how I knew it was V10. So let's pop those to the side. Because like in some of these drawers I've got so many bits left and I'm like, have they just given lots of spares or... Right, but anyway, so what we doing... Right, so V10 is probably not even going to show up. But like there's a lip. So it looks like a hat basically. I don't know if it's going to show up like that. But showing that the hat bit that would go above your head goes on top. Okay, so done that, and then we need. Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, there it is. I was going to say I had these a minute ago. Then we're going to put these on. Yeah. So what the bits we're doing at the moment are the rear shocks. Beautiful park and so is that the one where they usually do a photograph and there's like a big old barn in the background? Is that AIM? I seem to recall there's one tournament and there's like a weird old barn looking thing in the background. It must cost you a fortune as well. Like, what's it like flying in the US? Because from the state you're in, I mean like the state, like US state, not the state as in like you're drunk laying on the floor, you're in a state. Right, so we've got that bit done then. So now we need these rod bits, which are here. Let's pop these in the big one. Got 2 springs. I know the springs were because there were 4 springs, 2 of them slightly smaller, and when I was trying to find what the springs were, that's why I knew I needed these for the shocks. Because when I got lost on an earlier build, it was... they are shocky things. Right, so we've got 2 rods. Let's have a look. I'm going to bring it up just so we can see. So I've done this bit here. So I'm on this bit here. So on the rods there's a thread and right I see, yeah. So there's a 2 little, I don't know what you call them, like indent things. So I need to put a clip and then one of them white things and then a clip. I'm going to chuck those back there for the moment because I've seen these little clip bits I need and they are tiny. There, these, jump back to my desk. I don't know if you can even set like these things in here. So let's get these. So I've got to put one of these on the bottom, then the white ring, and then on top. So these obviously hold it. This is going to be a nightmare with my eyes and my giant fucking gorilla hands. Oh, okay. So I've got it a little bit on, but it's saying use pliers to pull them on. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Wasn't bad at all. So I just clipped it on a little bit and then pincered it on. I was so sure because they've given you the exact amount. So you need 4 and you've got 4. So if you're squeezing it, pa-ding, and flies off, you're fucked basically. Alright, let's get the tweezers out. No, fuck it. I knew this. So this second one's going to be a pain in the arse. Because the first one you've got like free roam to pinch it. The second one has to rest on top of that. I was wondering if I could do it with tweezers. Oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Okay, it's not like doing these ones, not as bad as I thought. Just be careful, because if you miss, I might be being lucky here, but it's like these things are tiny. So let's pop that in there, because that one's done. Now I've got to do it again. I was actually thinking I might go live later on this afternoon for slingshots, just because I haven't in a while. So and today's very shitty here. Right, so anyone doing this, so what you can do, just sort of push it a little bit on. It seems to grip a little bit. Oh, I thought it jumped off then. It popped on. So when you get like that, they look kind of a little Pac-Man kind of, or like a C shape. So if you get it in the groove and you sort of push it just firmly, it seems to grip, so you can let go and then grab your pincers. So let's get that last one. Oh, for fuck's sake. I feel like Julia Roberts in Oh, I feel like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. Is it like the shrimp, or she's doing something and she clips it and it goes flying? She goes, "Oh, slippy little fuckers," or something like that. Oh, got it on the white bit. There you go. So there's my little hint. Like, so when you've got it just resting on, so you've got to cover this, what I've done is put my finger over the top and then pinched it, because then it's less chance of it pinging off because you've got your finger there. Hey, so we've got 2 of those, whatever those things are. Obviously they're part of the shock, but there might be a proper name for them. Right, so let's pop back to our thing. So I've done that bit there. That's why I knew to use the pincers. See, they literally show you. Use tweezers or something. Right, so then I'm going to... so that's our damper oil. So we get a little bottle of damper oil. So I'm going to put damper oil along the shaft. Threadle it through. Right, I'm going to move back to my desk. So those bits, those are the main sort of outer body of the dampers. We've got the shafts. I don't know what these bits are. We've got the weird bladder thing. Oh, those are for the next bit. So, oh, V5. Where did I put those things? No, I chucked them over there. Just having a quick look at the other bits, because I've still got a whole plastic thing that I haven't even touched yet, and it looks like the servo things. Right, so we're looking for what did we say, V5. That looks like it. No, that's 7. There's 5 there. Can you imagine, I don't know if you're still here, Weston, but could you imagine if Kevin was here? He'd be like online buying cars and that now to add to his hobbies. See, I get it. I get why Kevin does that. Because I'm kind of the same, but I think he just has more money than I do to be able to do a lot more hobbies. Yeah, so I'm wondering if, like, I don't know, like, there's just so many bits left on these things. And when I look in the instructions, there's so little left to do. And I've got loads of bits left. Look. What is that? I don't know what that is. I mean, maybe it will become clear, but... right, so let's move some of this that way. Let's make our life easier again, because we were just working in this tray. So we've now got those bits. I don't know if they're... Oh, it's going to bite in. The thread is on the other end of the thing, so it's going to bite. I see how it works. Right, so we're going to let me mock this. So we've got this going this way. Then that is going to go in like that. And then we're going to screw that on the other end. Okay. Ah, I see, right. This is a lot. What I'm saying, when you do it, it suddenly clicks. That's why you had to have those two little, I don't know what you call them, like the little rubber spacer things, because they're creating a seal for the oil. So when that goes in, so the oil just doesn't all pour out. I get it. I get it now. Is that going to be enough? Right, I'm just getting an old, just looking in the garbage, just a little bag, because I don't want to get oil everywhere. Right, so it's saying to oil up your shaft. I see. So you're oiling it up so that it slips through those two rubber grommet-y things. I see how it works. So that is going to go into there. That should slide through. Then we get one of these things. I don't think there's any threading on this black plastic bit. Seems right, so that goes like that. It doesn't seem to go all the way up the thread. Oh, I see. So in the instructions, that's what they're saying, because of course it's spinning on my finger. So let's just move that oil out of the way, because there's a lot of it. So my assumption, and it looks like it also eyeballing, I need to fill that bit up. But this is what they're saying, so you've got to hold on to that rod. So let's just use my little bit of tissue here. Again, learning that Tamiya in Japanese might mean needs 3 hands. Yeah, that's moving up now. So there, all I've done, I'm only pinching it lightly. There, see, that's gone all the way up. Do I keep going till it stops? Or is it never going to stop? That wasn't so bad. There's a bit more there. Let's get another bit of tissue. I'm only using just normal tissue here. There might be something better. It's not quite there. I don't know if it's meant to go all the way. I'm going to push down. See if that moved it any. Right, it doesn't seem to go all the way. Let's measure it on the other one. Yep, so there will be a little gap. So I'm measuring up that one. If I put that there, there is a little gap left. So it looks like it doesn't go all the way. Right, now we've got to do that for number 2. So we've got that. We're going to turn that, pop that there. We're going to oil this so that it slips through. There we go. So you do have to pinch firmly. So that top one needs to be screwed in more. That's probably it. Right, so the way I'm measuring this is like that. Pop them, push them all the way in, and then sort of measuring there, and those look as even as I'm possibly going to get it. Right, so we've done that bit. Let's jump back to our instructions. So we've done that. Right. So pull down piston and pour oil into cylinder. Move air bubbles by slowly moving the piston up and down. Right. So pull down the piston. Pour oil into cylinder. Right, so remove air bubbles by slowly moving the piston up and down. Ooh. So let's jump back to desk. So I'm actually like, this would be a great fidget toy. I wonder what happens if there are air bubbles. I mean, obviously it's bad, like, because it says to remove the air bubbles, but I wonder if you didn't do that, like what would happen. Right, so pull it down. Attach oil seal and absorb oil overflow with tissue. Right, okay. This isn't a snotty tissue, this is just what I was using yesterday to wipe my fingers. There. Right, so attach oil seal. Ah, you motherfucker. Motherfucker. Look at this. So step 1, fill the thing with oil. Number 2, put that bladder thing on top. Then, oh, by the way, you should have cut V9 off of that thing earlier. Really? Like, really? Like that they couldn't have put that as step 1, cut V9 off? Right, well this should be fun then. Right, so V9, does that look like it? That does. Let's just hope this doesn't go shooting across the room when I snip it off. Yeah. Thanks, Tamiya. You could have said, oh, you need V9 at this bit. So before you have 2 hands full holding onto this thing filled with oil, maybe cut this bit off. Right, so there's our V9. So it's saying do the bladder thing upside down. Should I top it up a bit? I'm going to top it up because it says to absorb overflow and there isn't any. Hopefully I've not fucked myself now by doing that. Let's see, so there's that overflow. And it says to put this on top of that. Oh, no, I'm going to do it the other way. So, oh, sorry, let me change to my desk thing again. So I've done it the other way. So I put the bladder on, then I've put that V9 through the metal. I'm not fucking balancing it on top. Do that up as tight as I can. So now I'm assuming once it's on the car, let me angle that. I'm assuming once that's on the car it will be a lot better. Do I need to pump it a bit? Yes, I don't know if that's good or what. I'm going to assume that's done, like that is good. So let's pop that one there. Right, let's get our other V9. You know what's probably happened, because this frog is an old thing. I bet like they've re-released it, which isn't a shocker, and they've just sort of grabbed the old instructions, haven't actually got someone to sit down and build it, and thought, oh, we need to do this. I always get someone who doesn't know what they're doing to test. It could be me because of software. But you always get someone who doesn't know what they're doing to test it if you do documentation. Because if they can't follow it, then the document is not good. Or say document like instructions. If someone who's never done it before can't follow the instructions and do it, the instructions are not good. Right. So, where's our other... oh, it's already in. So what was it again? It was pull it down. Let me just scroll up to make sure. Yeah, so pull it down, fill with oil, a little bit close to overflowing there. So push it up slowly. couple of little air bubbles there. Yeah, that needs topping up a little bit. I wish this could show up on camera. That is like perfectly level. Right, so we put that bladder thing in. Being careful here because you get your hands oily and it looks like you don't get a lot of spare oil, meaning if you dropped this and it all poured out, I mean, I don't know what that oil is. I don't know if like 3-in-1 or like, see, most places have like hobby shops, and there are hobby shops in Calgary, but I can't really judge much because I haven't really needed to go there much. But I know shopping in Calgary is a nightmare for anything else. Very unlikely you'll find what you need. You need parts for things. You're not going to find it. Most of the time you go to like get your car fixed and they're like, oh, we got to order this from somewhere. Like, very, very, very rare you'll find parts for anything here. But apparently we're a city. So right, so that's that. Let's I'm going to pump it a few times. Is that good that it does that, or is it bad that it does that? Oh, look at that. That's... And what is that a sign of? Is that a sign of too much oil or not enough? Not happy with that. That's just going to there. When this one, are they meant to? Oh, look, that it only comes out like a tiny little way. Is that right? Let me jump over to right, so we're just going to jump into here. What do this guy's shocks look like when he does it? Yeah, we've done all that. We've done that. Okay, so he's on the next bit. I'm just like checking this out because right, so he feels his shocks. There, so he does top his up. So yeah, it looks like they do need to be filled up. Right, he puts those little bladder things on. So I've done everything he did. Just want to see him test his shock. Oh. So I think that is okay. I think that is. Because it's going to have a spring there that's pushing it back, so it's just needs like, it's only going to move like this once that spring is forcing that out. Hopefully that's what it is. Right, let's chuck that there. So what do we do next? We are on step 16. And that is to put the springs on. Now, obviously that's not it. That's not just slip it on. Let's go back to our thing. It's got our springs. We need 4 screws. I think I can move this bag out of the way now. So we need BA1. Oh, and oh, bugger. So out of those 2 shocks, so it uses about half the bottle. Just for anyone who's like, oh, how much do I like? You have actually got plenty in there. So if you did drop one and the oil fell out, you got plenty to refill it. You probably got enough to do at least one, maybe both, but at least one fully like refill it. So we've got our shocks. We need. What step are we on? 16. Just moving me draw things around. Right, so that BA1 is not in there. Is not in there. There they are. I'm going to pop those there. That looks like them. It's really weird because I don't know if it's my eyes, but when I look at the picture, like in the guide, it's like that looks way bigger than this. But when you put it on, it's like matches up. So let's get these 4 screws. And we also need C18. As I said, there's one of these plastic things that I haven't touched yet, so right, that says S. That's B. That is O. Right, so let's grab these 4 screws and pop them in here, just so I don't lose those. So what the hell is that C18? So that's V. These are V, so it's not on there. I think that's the end of this. There's so many bits left. Why are there so many bits on here? And why don't I have C? So this is the bit I'm looking for. Is that it? Nope. I don't seem to have this C18. Right, I'm going to jump over to this guy's video because I don't know what the hell that bit is. I don't seem to have it. Jesus. I don't know if you can hear that. Alright, it says got it there. Right there, it says got that there. So if it's the same, it's black. It kind of looks like that. Like this one here, but that is V3. So it really does look like that bit. That is. They've got the wrong part number in there. Yep, that is. They've got the wrong part number. That is not C18, that is V3. Motherfuckers. See, this is shit like this. I'm still enjoying, like, loving it, but it's shit like this that's made it so slow, especially to someone who's new to it. Shit like that, where they just have the wrong part number. So we're going to need 2 of those. And Tamiya's going to get an email from, not like, oh, let me see the manager, no, but sort it out. Like, that's way off. I'm using part V3 and it says C18. Like, there's nothing even like it. It's not even close, so... Right. Or is it? Just having a look closer to see if I can see. Right. So let's test this without a spring. Yeah, I think because see, it's got like this little lip at the bottom. I'm fairly confident they've just given the wrong part. So what he does, he puts the spring on, pulls it back, so that's a bit too big. Maybe that isn't the right bit. Okay, I don't know what to do now. It doesn't look like I've got that bit. Right, so we've got screws. That's definitely not it. Some of those, got an Allen key, we've got more screws. These are all my bearings. Clips, screws. So it's definitely not in here. So the reason I don't, so it kind of fits. So if I do that, it fits like it goes to the end. But then the spring doesn't fit over that. Like this lip bit here, it doesn't fit over that, so right, let's put the motor to the side. Just check down here, make sure I didn't chuck it down. That I'm going to need right, I don't know what those are. Right, I seriously think I just don't have that part. They haven't given it to me. Because I've checked every bit that I have. And the only bit that's even close doesn't fit. So let's, I know, right, so let's have a look. So it's saying for C18, so let's just go back and look for anything C. I haven't seen a C yet. This is the first time it mentions C. Yeah, see, so it's close, but it doesn't have that lip. See there, it kind of looks like a flying saucer. It's got that middle bit in the middle. That bit doesn't have it. So I don't think those are, but I don't have anything else that even looks like that. Right, no, so that's, I haven't touched that, that's Z, so that's the little dude. these are wheels, so it's not those. There's nothing in that box. Right, so here's what I've got. Ah, look at that, look. What the is that it? Yeah. So that is 18, but it's... Oh, that is a C. Okay, my bad. So this big one is C. It looked like an O on there. So my bad, I do actually have the part. Plonk those in there. Panic over. So there, anyone looking for it, they're on the end of this great big one. I was wondering because like them other the bits I cut off, they're so close, like they look almost exactly like that bit. There we go. Just pop that there. So they're saying. Let me jump back to my desk. So the shock goes like that. Then this clips on with the the bit sticking out points down. There we go, yeah, that bit on perfectly. I could do it to this camera. Right, let's just do it up on here, look, you can see it clearly there. So that bites on and that feels so much more like a damper. There we go. So it is tight to get it on. That one wasn't as bad. Because yeah, the oil is just going to push it back, but the spring's pushing it back. The oil is just doing a smooth back and forth. So there we go, yay. Right, I'm quite fucking pleased with that. So that had me worried. I'm like, how can they not give that part? Just pop that up there. Let's get our chassis. Oh. So let's get this oriented right. So we're doing like this because I'm down here. Let me just flip back to the thing. So we're doing this now. We've got it. So finally we found our C18. So that's in there. The spring's in there. We've now got to bolt it. So those screws, so one goes through, one screw is going into here. Let me jump back to my, there, so this, I'm here, so one screw goes in here at the end one. The other one is going into there, so it goes in there on the actual chassis itself and then onto this arm here, which makes sense because then when these are doing this, that damper is working. See, it makes, when you get to it, it's like, ah, like I said in a Facebook post, you get like these, ah, I see now, I see how it works. So let's get our damper. The only thing I think you've got to make sure is you do it the right way round, like have the spring at the right end. So let's just see if this is, yep, so that's the right screw. So the spring goes towards the back. So the spring end attaches to the movie bit. So like that. Ooh, so there's going to be a bit of tension here. Right, so let's get that bit on. I'm going to put it down, just want to do this. Oh, not so much. The arm moved when I pushed it in. So hopefully has moved it into its rightful place. Now let's get our second screw. Now see how that goes? So the spring end went on there. This end, it can only really go onto here. When you kind of push it up, it's like that. It can only really go in one place. Now that I've got it in, and now that you've seen that, I would recommend with these screws, so that you don't thread them, push in hard, turn really slowly. Make sure this other one's done hard. There we go. That's one. Spin it around. Two screws into the big bit. Pop that through. Let's rotate this a bit more. Again, this is your only bit when you're dealing with the left and right sides. Always making sure your orientation is right, i.e. the spring is towards the back of the car. That. And now this. I'm pushing into that like as hard as I can. Because obviously they've designed it so that it's biting into it, it's like literally creating a thread in the plastic. And as long as you turn slowly, you feel it, you feel that sudden stop. Right, and we're close to finishing what I can do today. And there we go, there's our shocky bits. Because I can't do the electronics today. Tell you what, I just want to, before I do like because I think this is the last bit I can do, 17. So as you see, that isn't too much of a big deal, but just want to make sure. Right, so we can do a little bit of 18. No, we can do all of 18. So we can do 17, we can do 18, 19 we can't do. So we stop after 18. Again, anyone joining late, I can't do the electronics bit yet because I don't have a battery that fits the ESC that came with it. So that I will need to sort out. So let's do this. Oh. And yes, I know, so I am, anyone just joining, I am doing the stock everything. So let's jump back to desk view. So I now have some good dampers. So what it says to do here is select pinion gear to suit your spur gear. I already did that from earlier. I pulled that out, that's why that's there. Then we have to Das Ritzel passend Zupnat. Right, attaching pinion gear. I believe I've got the 18. Whatever one was the speed, I think this is 18. Right, so we've got our pinion, we've got our motor. And the other reason I don't want to put things together, because like, let's say this motor is fucked, then I don't want to build everything, and so I want to test the electronics first, which I need a battery for, which I don't have. So as I said, people joining later, I do have batteries, I just don't have that connector. Right. Right, I'm just looking for that flat round thing. I'm sure I've seen that. There it is. I know I'd seen it somewhere. Right, so this says to put that, so on the motor we have 3 holes. It's obviously like the 2 line up. So that feels the same both sides. So I don't think it matters what way round it goes. There. So that's that. Now the pinion needs a little grub screw, which is BC4, and I know I've got grub screws. There they are. I have 3. Yep, so that's where you get the like the little. I wondered that. That's where you get the little Allen key for the grub screw. So, what does it show here? Right. There it is. Right, so I've got the grub screw in there. Now it's saying it needs to be 16.5 mil. And it goes on. Oh. There, so there is a little cover on that. I was like, oh, that looks enormous. Right, so I've got that on. But, let's put that there. Hopefully we don't need that anymore. Just going to chuck it to the side. And let's put that somewhere safe. Right, so let's have a look. So it's saying so if it's like that, let me bring up the thing so everyone can see what I'm trying to do. So we're looking at here. This bit on the right, zoom into it. So this bit here where it says 16.5 mil. So that's saying from here, like the biggest bit where we put this bit on. So from there to there to there. So is it saying all of that needs to be 16.5? This down. Ooh. Let me just do this. Right there. If anyone's here, I will be right back. I've just put that up for anyone else joining. So we need this 16.5 mil. I've got everything ready. I just need to go and find my calipers. I'm pretty sure I know that I had them recently downstairs. Make sure I didn't put them in here. Nope. I shall return with calipers. I'm just making 100% sure that I didn't bring them up already. Nope, doesn't look like it. have calipers. I knew I'd used them just recently, so I knew I had them close by. Let me change back to my desk. Look at that. Could you be more precise? Right, so that's there. To there. So let's get our little Allen wrench. I get used to calling them Allen wrenches. Growing up in England, we call them Allen keys. Right. Let's see if we can do this. Just check that. Might be off by a tiny, minute amount. I probably shifted it a little bit, but that is as close as I possibly could get. Right, so what I'm going to do, if you excuse me just for a second, is, because I'm terrible at putting things away, so what I'm going to do is just put my calipers away, because that's why I knew where they were, because I just used them and I was good and I put them away. So I'm going to leave them there. I'm going to pull these plastic bits out, put them in there. Now this tray, I think I'm done with that tray. So we've got a motor. What do we do now? Actually looks a lot like zoomed in. I wish it was clearer, but okay, so I just want to make sure we've done everything. So we've done the 16.5mm grub script, right? We've done all that. Right, so 19 we're not doing, we're just doing 18. So we're stopping after 18 because I don't have the battery. Motor. Now let's see. So we want BB1. There's 3 of those. Let's bring this up. sorry, so BB1, there's 2 of those. Hey, Chad, how you doing? Oh, I'm Vinny. Good to see you both. So I'm probably going to be on for about another 10 minutes or so. What I'm doing is building a Tamiya Frog RC car to enter into the Poor Boys speed challenge. So I've got most of it done. I've built the chassis, I've got the gearbox, all the shocks and everything seem to be working. I just got to put the motor in, and then that's as far as I can go for now, because the next step is putting in all the electronics, and I don't have a battery with the right connector. So let's see. So we've got these. Now, anyone never done a Tamiya? I know like people have been, but just for anyone joining. And how you doing, Chad and Vinny? It's been so long. Well, Chad, I think I spoke to you at least a week ago, but Vinny, it feels like forever. So let's just turn this page. So anyone who hasn't done, if you guys haven't done it before, let me jump back to my desk here. So like when you're on a step in these instructions, the reason like you got the pictures over to the side is because it's literally to scale. So I can put that screw there, and I can see, yeah, that is definitely the right one. Like they literally do the instructions one for one. So I'm going to put those screws there because I need those. We need some BA2. Which looks like those. So you guys ever done anything like this? Right, so those are not BA2. Ah. That looks more like a BA2. So what we do, so we've got the motor. I'm going to pop this out of the way for a second. So let's get this oriented like that. This motor is going to go into here. Ah, we're missing parts. So we need that C12 bit. So that's that bit there. Is that it? Just the C12. See, it still makes me nervous because there's like loads of bits I haven't used yet. Right, so we need these long screws to go through here. Those then go through there. Right, where to put my screwdriver? There it is. It's like, Jesus. Pretty sure that's touching. Well, that's what they gave us, that motor, so... Right, so we threaded that. Then we'll drop that down there for a second. Here's our two screws to put in. Are these exactly the same? They look exactly the same to me. So on the motor side, I don't know why it's only on one side, but so it's like that. Whew. Damn it, putting in the wrong bits. So this is meant to go in like these two great big bits sticking out right below the shock. It goes in there. Can't be. Well, these are not the right screws. Ah, I bet that's those. Let's test it. Yep. So it's these big silver ones that we need. So that, like that, like that. So, rule of thumb, if you're putting a screw in and it feels really, really difficult to screw in, double check because you're probably putting it in the wrong place. And it also like gave me some relief because like I've only have 3 of those and I'm assuming you need 4 because I've got 2 of these plastic bits. That's that. Let's just jump back to our scene. So that's A to just double check. So I've done everything there. I just want to see like this thing here. Is there another? Because like I've got 2 of those and I've got 2 of the screws left. And it looks like one goes in the other side, but right, yeah. So there is one that goes in the other side, and it's not doing anything. So let's do that one. We can jump a little bit in to the other thing. That is sticking out. So like that. Like that. That goes into there. So let's get a screwdriver so we can put this bit in. Just get it to bite on. Oh, sorry, should have jumped back to my desk bit. Right, so I'll put both those sides on because it looks like they don't do anything special at this moment. I don't even know what they do. It looks like that's for the battery. You can see the battery goes in there, so these are probably the brace to stop the battery sliding out. So let's just have a look. Is there anything else we can do in 19? Put the servo in, which we can't do because we need the battery to test it. So let's just have a look what else we've got. So we're going to get the servo in. The servo and the ESC both go in. Then we've got a receiver. That goes in, and I have that. Then we've got the steering arms, or steering rods. So we put those together. We build the, put all the bits on the servo. Pop that in the servo. Then we make the wheels. Attach those. And put the rear wheels on. Put the battery in. Then we can build the little dude, and we paint the body. I have other plans for the body though. Assemble it, peel off everything, put on some lights, decorations. I'm not going to be doing the stickers. Attach body. Adjust the steering. Then we should be able to have playtime. Right, so let's just go up to here. So the things that I'm not going to do here, not doing body. The little man, I don't know if I want him in there. I honestly don't know if I like it. So the battery, right, so battery, let's see if it says 7.2 volt. So Tamiya 7.2 volt racing pack battery. Oh, and then there's putting that plate on the back. So yeah, there's going to be another video, but I at least need a battery. I'm not putting all this together and then something doesn't work on the electronics. So I'm going to call it there. Oh, sorry. I should have been on here. So we've done 18. We've done a little bit of 19. So we're starting at 19. Once I've got a battery, we can do that. We can do the steering rods fairly easily. Connect it all to the servo. Get the wheels ready. Put the wheels on. Put the battery in. Put the skid plate on the bottom. 27 I'm not doing. 28 I'll do some other time. That's the painting the body. All the decorations and then some adjustments. So once I get a battery, I'll do another live and we will wrap this up. But thanks everyone for joining.